Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Gardening with Grayson. In today's project, I'm going to be planting up the shallow bowled terracotta planter with this beautiful selection of plants. Most of these are perennials with the exception of one. I thought that this mix of plants looked beautiful together. So the first plant that I have here is a sweet flag or ogon. This is a perennial grass, and this gets anywhere from 18 to 24 inches tall and about 12 inches wide. So with this being a perennial grass, I will probably pop it out of this container eventually and pop it in a larger container or pop it in the landscape somewhere. Next is one of my favorites. This is an autumn fern, and this one is called Brilliance. Now these autumn ferns, they grow anywhere from 18 to 24 inches tall and about 18 to 24 inches wide. It has a lot of the rust color on it. I love these ferns. I have these in the landscape here around the patio that you may have seen before in a past video. And I just love these. They're easy to grow, they're no fuss. I love to pair them with hosta. So this can take some sun. And so I believe all of this mix of plants is gonna do great. Next on the list is this beautiful little cypress. And this is called Lemon Thread. Now this is going to grow anywhere from 3 to 5 feet tall and anywhere from 2 to 4 feet wide. So it's really small now, and this can take sun to part shade. So this will definitely come out of this and go into the landscape eventually. But I just thought that all these colors paired very well together. Next on the list is this Croton. Now this is classified as a houseplant, but I just thought that this looked great in this container. And this will take me until our first frost, and then I'll probably pull it out and pop it in my house. It looked beautiful paired with this autumn fern. It went well with all of it. It picks up the yellow in the grass. But I just wanted to enjoy this arrangement until we go into cooler weather. And last but not least, this is a sedum or stonecrop. This is called Sun Sparkler Cherry Tart. Now this is for full sun, but it can take some shade as well. This is going to grow anywhere from 6 to 8 inches tall and 18 inches wide. And I also thought that this paired extremely well again with that autumn fern, the burgundies and those reds, those burnished autumnal colors. And we are going to enjoy this until our frost starts to settle in. Now this container does have a rather large drainage hole here. So in that case, to keep the soil in and keep it from escaping, I usually use a piece of screen or a coffee filter. In this case, I've cut a little piece of burlap. So I'm just going to go ahead and double that up, place it right down in the bottom over the hole. That'll keep the soil in, but it'll also allow the water to flow through freely, because the last thing we want is to plug up this hole. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and fill our soil up. And I'm just using a premium soil. This actually happens to be Miracle Grow Potting Mix. Thought I'd go ahead and help that out a bit. All right, there we go. Now, as always, I'm going to go ahead and use this Proven Winners. This is the premium continuous release plant food. I use this in pretty much every container that I make. Has this nice little scoop or shakeable top, and I usually put about 3 of these in here. I just kind of eyeball it. And this will just kind of help to feed these plants through our first frost. It is heat activated, so you know that will continue to work because we're still hot. We have such a long growing season here in Zone 8A in North Carolina. So the first thing that I usually do is I determine where this is going to be. Is it going to be seen from all sides? Is it going to be against a wall? Is it going to be tucked into a corner? Where will this be seen? And that's going to determine how I position all these plants. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure where I'm going to put this, but I know that with this container, it'll probably be backed up somewhere or tucked into a corner or a ledge. So in that case, what I do is I assess all my plants and I look for my tallest ones first. Now the two tallest plants that I have is the fern and the grass. So I know that these are going to go towards the back. Let's go ahead and start with the grass first. Now, let's go ahead and loosen this up. This is pretty root bound, wow. So there are healthy roots there. Now typically what I could do is I could knock some of this soil off because this is such a shallow bowl, and that's what I'm doing now. Because I don't want this to be gigantic, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock some of this off so it'll fit in our container. So let's go ahead and just scooch this back to the back. We just make a little well here. Just pulling these roots right off because these are so hardy. This could almost be separated into several. As you can see, all the individual pieces of grass. You just want to make sure that you have soil against the wall of the container so there are no air pockets. So let's just kind of set off center towards the back. Again, because it's a tall plant. Now I could plop it in the middle, but for this application, it's going to be in the back. Next up is our beautiful autumn fern. Now in this case, this one's not quite as root bound, so a lot of this soil is going to come off. And again, this will go out into my landscape at some point this fall. These are such great ferns, you guys. Such great ferns. And like I said, I love to pair them up with hosta. I put them in containers all the time. And once they kind of outgrow that space, I'll plop them into the landscape. So again, we're just gonna make that well. This is gonna go right to the back. And there's typically a front and a back. And I love a nice full container. And there's still plenty of room in between these. It's nice for them to touch. All right, so next up on the list is going to be the cypress. I saw this and thought, well, that's just the cutest thing. And I thought that that would just go right into our color scheme and fit beautifully right into what we're trying to do. So we're just going to knock off some of the soil. I'm just going to knock it right off into the can. And this will take full sun to part shade. How's that looking so far? Okay. Make sure that all the root balls come in contact with soil here. Up next is going to be the Croton. And last but not least is going to be the sedum. Now with the sedum, I may go ahead and separate some of this. This is quite a tall container. So again, we'll be knocking half of this soil off. Let's just see what's going on here. Yeah, that's a lot of soil. So we're going to tear half of that off of there, more than half. This could almost be separated, you guys, but I think I'm gonna leave it all as one because I know it spreads and it will grow out. And I love this long piece because it's gonna drape over the front. It's gonna be our little bit of a spiller. So don't be afraid to manipulate these root balls and take some of that soil off. And this is going to be plopped right up front. And this fern is going to grow up and really spread out. Okay, y'all, and there you have it. It is beautiful. Look at this arrangement, y'all, how nice it turned out. So again, this is just a very shallow terracotta round bowl. I use this sweet flag Oregon grass. I use the autumn fern brilliance. I use the Croton. I use the cypress and lemon thread, and I also use the Stonecrop cherry tart. And this arrangement turned out beautiful. Has a very autumnal look to it, but yet it's going to take us to the end of the season, the growing season, and as we approach our first frost, I will take the Croton out and I will probably leave everything else in. That's the only plant that's going to come out. I'll pot it up and take it inside and use it as a house plant. Okay, y'all, that's going to do it for this project. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if so, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about this arrangement. And as always, thank you for watching Gardening with Grayson, and I will see you in the next video.